Saudi Arabia, the West Asian powerhouse led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is set to become the geopolitical center stage for US President Donald Trump's initiative to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Riyadh is reportedly set to host the US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin for talks to end the Ukraine war. But before the potential Trump-Putin meet, senior US officials, led by the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, have arrived in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is being seen as the most potent initiative so far to end the nearly 4-year-long war in Ukraine. But there is a critical caveat in these peace talks, which America's European allies have flagged. At the moment, neither Ukraine nor Europe has a seat at the table in these negotiations with Russia. Reports citing Ukrainian officials even said that the announcement of peace talks in Saudi Arabia came as a surprise to Kiev. Now, to counter the European exclusion from the Saudi peace talks, French President Emmanuel Macron is convening an emergency summit of European leaders in Paris today. The summit was Summit Showdown amid Trump-led America's extraordinary push for peace in Ukraine has put the US at loggerheads with its European allies. As the American and Russian negotiators prepare to meet in Saudi Arabia, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also remains stationed in the region. Zelensky is visiting just across the Saudi border in the UAE. In the latest, the Ukrainian leader is scheduled to visit Saudi Arabia on the 19th of February. Zelensky previously suggested that peace talks in Riyadh were already compromised. Zelensky had said that he will not negotiate with Russia without consulting Ukraine's strategic partners in Europe.
With Russians, with only one Russian guy, with Putin, only after we will have common plan with Trump, Europe, and we will sit with Putin and stop the war. Only in this case I'm ready to meet, not in other compromises platforms.
Amid critical focus on the participants as well as the non-participants of the peace talks, the spotlight is also on Saudi Arabia, which is hosting these negotiations. Saudi Arabia has strong and influential ties with both the United States and Russia. Riyadh previously played a critical role in brokering prisoner exchanges in the Ukraine war. Riyadh and Moscow have also closely coordinated on oil policy through the OPEC Plus grouping amid Western pressure to isolate Moscow. Despite Riyadh's geo-economic proximity with Moscow, the US President Donald Trump has openly lauded Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for his ambitious development roadmap for the region. In a show of their personal bonhomie, the Crown Prince was the first global leader that Trump called after returning to power last month. Together, these factors make Riyadh an ideal venue for Trump-led peace talks. Saudi Arabia is at the heart of these high-stakes negotiations. Riyadh's place is crucial, as the US is not on the same page with its European allies on supposed terms to end the war. Can this Trump-led initiative deliver a breakthrough in ending the war, or will Europe's exclusion undermine its credibility?
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office, Prime Minister Modi. Divyan,
we were actually
how are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.